Hi, my name is Sarah Fell, and I like to give my dolls new faces inspired by things that I like. Today I'll be giving a new face to this Bratz Boyz Kobe. So I bought this doll at a doll show a while ago, and I had intentions of turning him into an original character, mostly because almost all of my face-ups have kind of been like a character with a certain face or a certain makeup, but not necessarily an original character. And I, for one, have a certain soft spot for boy dolls, so I've been meaning to make a boy doll my own for a while. And this isn't the first time I've worked on Bratz Boyz. I've worked on Cameron, and I did a face on him inspired by Kai from EXO. I've also gotten a few commissions for Kobe's. I don't feel comfortable posting the pictures here because they are other people's dolls, so you can go to my Twitter and try to look for them somewhere on there for yourself. But anyways, here he is. He's a little dirty, but that's okay because I will clean him up myself. He has these tags sticking out, teeth ties sticking out on the back of his head. He kind of smells. Yeah, I will remove his face and then wash him and his clothes all at once. So I picked this Kobe as a base because I really liked his hair, and I didn't really want to do any rerooting or anything, especially because like Bratz heads are really solid, and I don't think I have it in me to reroot a Bratz doll. I don't know if these are supposed to be together or separate. This is probably my first like OG doll. I mean, I have Gina Fire as like an OG doll, but is his top all one piece? How do you take this off? Oh! One thing I can never get over is I just flashed him. I don't know if this is sewn intentionally or if this was sewn to keep it together in packaging. I'm gonna assume it's in packaging, and I'm going to remove it. If it isn't, and I am destroying the historical integrity or whatever of this doll, I apologize in advance. Yeah, this isn't my first, like, quote-unquote original doll. I own 2 Gina Fires, and I honestly really want Bloom, Doom, and that one. Maybe I should learn what it's actually called. But Bratz wise, this is my first OG doll. I believe this is Formal Funk. Who's doing it like MGA? Their fashions are just on another level. Like, if you ignore the fact that this is dirty, the layers, the construction, the fact that this feels like fabric and not like what one of my mutuals say on Twitter, hamburger paper. It's just incredible to me. I will never ever get over MGA's outfit construction. I'm assuming this is how you take this off. It's like a onesie. Yeah, he kind of smells, not like cigarettes or anything, but he does smell like old. Duh, Nana. Duh, it's an old doll. I seriously don't know if I'm like taking this off right, and I'm scared I'm going to like pop a stitch. This is a really nice shirt, but I don't know if he'll ever be able to get back in it. Here he is. He's very dirty, but that's okay. We can work with this. We can work with this. Let me trim down. Is his hair saran? The original Bratz used saran, right? I would believe so, like, because of how flat it lays on the head. I have a feeling it just doesn't feel like soft because it's old, and I'm assuming whoever played with him or owned him before never like washed him or like took him out because like the stitching was still on this and everything. There's been conversations lately about boy dolls, and I will make my stance clear right now. I love boy dolls. I love boy dolls when they have a lot of love and passion clearly put into their design, and I feel like that is just so evident when it comes to the Bratz Boyz. I don't want to imply that no designers, or like there's designers that don't put like their entire heart into their characters, but I don't know. When I look at all the past Bratz Boyz and I just see just all the details on them and all the details and all the steps that they took necessary to like construct, I don't know, a shirt with this ruffle on this. They took the time to like make it a onesie so like it wouldn't slit, so it would perfectly tuck into his pants. Like I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry, I'm not very eloquent, but it's just, I just love seeing the passion of like an artist or a designer coming into fruition. And I see that the most in boy dolls with Bratz Boyz. So when people say all boy dolls are ugly, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I don't like to talk on limitations of a corporation's budget because I don't care about their budget. Someone on Twitter said it very well. Why should I, as a consumer, care about your budget? I just want you to make the dolls that I want for a price that I can get. And that's why I wait for all dolls with sale. Anyways. And I don't know why I should give a giant corporation grace when they're not, I don't want to say that they're not putting in the effort, but like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to turn this into a Bratz versus Monster High thing either. I think all dolls are wonderful and serve a purpose for everyone. But when I see the concepts for a character like Heath, and all the concepts are incredible, but you get to the doll and it's just him in a flame hoodie and some shorts and a pair of flame slides, my heart just breaks a little. Because imagine putting your whole, like putting so much passion and dedication into the design of the doll only to be told like, oh yeah, that's not gonna work within our budget. I don't care about a budget. I don't care about your budget. I don't know. Whatever. Say goodbye to this OG face. Bye, Kobe. Ooh, his base is ready. So now I'm just going to go wash all the years of grime off of him. Wash these clothes as well. And I will be back when it's time for the face up.
With the 2 base layers of MSC dry, I can now start on my sketch. There isn't really anything extravagant going on here, just making sure things are relatively symmetrical as usual. I couldn't get his eyebrows even, so I decided to give him an eyebrow slit instead. I originally intended on making him kind of a pretty boy, but with the change in his eyebrows, I decided to make him a little more edgy, a little more brooding too. I focused mostly reds and browns under his eyes like he's been crying or wearing eyeliner, kind of. I went straight into pastels as opposed to laying down my base colors in pencil because for this face up, I wanted to try and use acrylics for the first time ever. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've never really liked calling my face-ups repaints because I don't really paint anything. I don't know how strict the semantics are in this hobby, and who knows, maybe I'm just enforcing that very odd rule on myself, but either way, I can comfortably call this guy a repaint. I don't know what that says about me, but I think that's pretty exciting. You can see how hesitant I am to use the acrylics at first, but I get a lot more comfortable as time goes on, and I'm sorry that the clips are so short and jumpy. I kept on pulling the doll out of the frame so I could get a closer look, but hopefully my next repaint will actually be recorded well. And with his catch lights on, he's finally come to life.
This is so embarrassing. This is so humiliating. It's so frustrating. You might look and think, oh, he's fine. But no, it happened again. MSC just does everything in its power to ruin my day. I boil washed him and his eyebrows came off, and if you can tell, it's a bit hazy in the eyebrows and in the eyes here, and that's an indicator of your MSC not curing properly. And you'd think, Seraphel, this happens whenever you boil wash your doll's hair. Shouldn't you be more careful? Yes, I should, but let's not. Yes. I don't have an excuse. I really thought I sealed it well, but I will complain that I did wash him briefly before I started, and there's still product in his hair, and that's why I had to boil wash him. If you look really closely, you see like these white lines. I could only assume that's product. For something like this, and especially because I used acrylic, ideally, you know, I could just paint over it and then seal his face again, but I don't know, knowing that this entire side of his face is uncured is just making me think I should start over. And honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do. But, you know, I did it once, I could do it again. And that's the only thing I can say to myself right now to make me feel better. Oh my god. Okay, you know, let's look at the bright side and just think of things I can improve on. The hardest part about painting Bratz is that, like, their mold is so flat that it's hard to get things symmetrical. And Bratz especially look really off when their pupils aren't the same. So here we go again. I also did only do one final spray of MSC because I had more faith in the acrylics staying on than watercolor pencil, but I don't know, maybe I should not be so stingy and just do 2 final sprays as I intended. But it does feel really good to not have to wait to MSC to dry all the time, because if I'm doing watercolor pencil, then I have to add layers of spray to build up my colors. But with acrylic, I did this all with only the 2 starting layers of MSC. So, pretty good. His hair is a little damp. It shouldn't affect the MSC because it's away from his face. I'm gonna pin his hair away from his face. Also, I boiled his hair so I could style it like these front bits. I want these front bits to hang in front of his face a little, but I guess we will see his fate in the second boil wash and show off his big forehead again. You might be wondering why I'm covering up his flocking, and it's because I don't know what MSC will do to it, and I don't want to find out. I don't want to take it off, but I have to, because even if I painted his eyebrows on again, I don't think spraying MSC on will make all of it better, you know? It's like when you're painting your nails, if the layer underneath didn't dry and you put another layer on top of it, that's not gonna automatically make it dry, I guess. Also, I just realized I put him in the paper towel before I could take the face off. Washing the acetone off is gonna be hard. I just like to make things harder for myself. I don't know. Let me zoom in on this. Everyone say rest in peace. Ooh. You know, I could see the argument of like, oh, why don't you just take off this side of the face but leave the other side? Because I do a lot of blushing. I don't think that would look good, because like, look at this line here. I think it'd be like too obvious that I took it off, so it's fine. You did it once, you can do it again. Also, now that I look back, when I did my final spray on him, I remember opening my backyard door and it was humid. It felt humid. That, like, I felt it in my gut, but I don't know, my hubris is always going to be my downfall. Me thinking I'm better than Mr. Super Clear. Use me as a lesson that your at the mercy of Mr. Super Clear himself. And if you get too cocky, he will go to your house and take you out back. That's a little dramatic. Sorry. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Can't exactly run him under soapy water. So I'm going to do the next best thing and just spray his face with water a few times. 2 sprays of Mr. Super Clear and we're starting all over.
Well, surely this time you'll actually be able to see me repaint him. I already did his sketch off camera, so let me show you how to make a wet palette. I learned this trick from both my older brother and Delightful. I'll put a paper towel in a plastic container and then wet it with some water. Afterwards, place a sheet of parchment paper on top and that's it. Now your paints won't dry out so easily. Also, be sure to water down your acrylic so that it can paint smoothly. These model paints are super opaque, but just a little drop of water will make all the difference. I don't have a pipette, so I'm just using a cotton swab to dot an appropriate amount of water next to each drop of paint. You can see how much more confident I am using the brush as opposed to me dotting on the paint during my first try. Also, this funky bent brush is supposed to be a straight liner brush, but its odd shape was honestly quite useful at times. He looks a bit angry, doesn't he? You know how artists make the same expression as the thing they're drawing? Maybe my frustration was channeled into this new face. Oops. Also, yeah, about actually being able to see me paint. Sorry. I kept pulling him out of frame again, but I promise I'll try to do better the next time I paint. With his catch lights on, he's finally come to life. Again! Here's the final look for my Bratz Boyz repaint. Meet Orion. I won't lie, I'm still mourning the loss of his old face, but this face has been growing on me a little bit, especially with the lip ring. I decided to name him Orion after one of my beloved characters on Lost Ark. It's definitely not because I can't come up with a different name or anything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave any questions, comments, or critiques for me. I hope to see you in the next one.
I just realized something. Hold on. They basically have the same outfit